Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into, well, a really fascinating set of sources. We're looking at a collection of online tools and calculators, and specifically how they're starting to use AI in some pretty groundbreaking ways.
Right.
Our mission really is to see how these tools give you quick, accurate insights. And honestly, reveal a surprisingly streamlined way tech is just putting information right there for us.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. I think we've all been there, right? Needing a quick calculation, maybe converting something.
Oh, definitely.
And you end up jumping between websites, copying numbers manually. It's that friction, that hassle that makes our sources today so interesting. They come from UtilityForDev. It's a platform offering over 70 free online tools. Calculators.
70. Wow.
And it's not just, say, finance. They've got health tools, JSON processing, text manipulation, a whole lot more.
It's quite a range.
Feels like a digital Swiss Army knife for data tasks. And what's fascinating, I think, is just the sheer breadth of practical uses they cover. These tools seem designed to help you process information quickly, without getting bogged down.
Exactly. Making complex stuff accessible instantly, cutting out those annoying manual steps. And the scope is impressive. We're talking things like EMI, that's equated monthly installments, and SIP, systematic investment plan, calculators for your finances.
Common financial planning tools.
Right. Then you've got BMI and calorie calculators for health stuff. And for personal finance, again, things like retirement planning tools, PPF, FD calculators, those are big in India, public provident fund, and fixed deposits.
Useful comparison points.
Yeah, and loan comparison tools, grade calculators, unit converters, just tons of practical stuff. But okay, let's maybe zero in on one example just to see how it works. The GST calculator, specifically for the Indian goods and services tax.
Okay.
Its basic job is to help you figure out the GST amount. So whether you need the price with GST included, or you need to figure out the price before GST.
Inclusive or exclusive.
Exactly. So the sources give this example. So you have an amount of 1,000 rupees in 1,000 euro, and the GST rate is 18%.
Okay.
The calculator instantly shows the GST amount is 180. So the total price becomes 1,180. Simple, quick clarification.
And that immediately brings up the whole question of different GST rates, doesn't it?
It does.
Because our sources mention the common slabs, like, 0% on essentials, rice, wheat, things like that.
Right.
Then 5% maybe on household necessities, 12% on some processed foods, medicines. 0.18% is a very common one for lots of goods and services. And then the higher 28% rate for luxury items, cars, that sort of thing. And this ties into, the bigger picture of how the tax is actually split depending on the transaction.
Ah, right. Intrastate versus interstate.
Exactly. So for a supply within the same interstate, that 18% GST gets broken down. It's 9% CGST, central GST, and 9% sense GST, state GST.
Okay, split evenly.
Right. But if it's an interstate supply, so between two different states, then it's just IGST, integrated GST, at the full 18%.
Got it. So the calculator handles that distinction automatically.
Presumably, yes. That's the point, abstracting away that complexity for the user.
Which is super useful, though it's probably worth a quick mention. Like the sources say, these are computer-generated results, really just for information.
Absolutely.
Always best to check with, a tax professional for the final exact figures.
Standard disclaimer, but important.
Definitely. But, okay, this accuracy, combined with just how many calculators there are, that brings us to the really innovative part of UtilityForDev. The thing that I think changes the game. Here's where it gets really interesting. What truly sets this platform apart and why this deep dive feels so relevant right now is their Model Context Protocol, MCP for short.
Right, the MCP integration.
Yeah. This could genuinely change how we use AI assistants.
So MCP basically lets AI assistants think Claude, ChatGPT Plus, maybe other custom AIs people are building it, lets them connect directly to these tools.
Directly. No setup needed by the user.
That's the idea. Think of it like giving your AI assistant instant access to this whole toolbox, all these calculation and processing capabilities seamlessly. No manual work from you.
Wow. So no more copying results from one window and pasting them into my chat with the AI.
Exactly. No more manual copy pasting. The sources really highlight the benefits here.
Yeah.
Direct AI access to everything. Automating workflows.
Automated workflows.
Batch processing too, potentially.
Yeah.
And real-time data transformation, like right inside your AI conversation.
That is. That's pretty huge, isn't it? I mean, we've all done that tedious data moving.
Yeah.
This feels like AI is finally, connecting the plumbing behind the scenes so we don't have to worry about it.
And it's not just for that GST calculator we talked about. This MCP integration works for all the 70-plus tools on their platform.
All of them.
All of them. So it just transforms how you can use AI for quick, accurate data stuff, complex calculations across a huge range of needs right there in your chat.
So, okay, let's boil this down. What does this actually mean for you, the listener? It means your AI assistant isn't just a chatbot anymore. It can actively do things, perform calculations, process data on the fly, because it's directly plugged into these reliable, specialized tools.
Turning complex tasks into automated steps.
Exactly. It's like a real shortcut, getting you the information you need, properly calculated and processed, and letting you act on it faster, all within that AI interface you might already be using. So with that wraps up our deep dive into UtilityForDev and this MCP integration they've built. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How integrated tools like this are changing how we get information.
It really does. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, given how much AI assistants are becoming part of our daily lives, just consider how could this kind of seamless, direct connection to specialized tools fundamentally change how we learn, how we work, how we manage information, in the very near future.
Yeah.
How might that level of automation free you up, let you focus more on the why behind things, rather than getting stuck on the how of calculation or data processing?